Okay, everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Real Coaching in Real Time, guys. I've really been enjoying this little series that I've been doing. So, as long as I'm enjoying doing it, you guys are getting a lot of value. I'm going to continue to do it. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I hope it does bring a lot of value. You know, a lot of the questions that agents ask whenever I'm doing these shows are literally the same questions that a lot of other agents are wondering about. Um, so it's always good to hear a different perspective or someone ask a question that you're thinking in your head. Like most questions that agents have, you know, people have, there's so many people out there that have the same exact question. And so to do this show and bring random agents on from all over the place, I think is a really great way to bring a lot of value. And I know it helps a lot of people. So another thing cool about it is the exposure that the guests have, right? When you come on this show, you're getting exposed to my entire audience, you know, and that can help you build your personal brand, right? So I always put all the contact information and every way that people can reach out to the agents that I bring on my show in the description of the video. So if you guys want to connect with somebody that's on the show or on one of the past shows, just look in the description and find them there. If you want to come on the show, text me at my new number. That's 251-312-8844, and just let me know you want to come on the show, and I'll be happy to have you on. So I'm about to bring on our three agents today. I'll let you guys get a glimpse of them right here. Smile and wave, everybody. So we'll bring you guys on in just a second and let you introduce yourself to the audience. But really quickly, I wanted to just reiterate something I've been talking about pretty much every time I go live or whatever. And that is that December 11th at 4 p.m. Central, I'm doing a webinar style 2021 goal setting for real estate agents. And I'm really excited about it because I'm going to introduce a lot of new things that I don't normally talk about as far as strategies and stuff go. So I'm really looking forward to doing that for you guys. And I should have a link next week for you to sign up for that and be there. So just want to let you know about that as well. So in 2021 is going to be, I don't care who the president is. I don't care what happens with the corona. I don't care what happens with the economy. 2021 is going to be the best year that we've had ever, I believe. So, and it's all perspective and how you look at it. But I know that for the last 3 years, I've been working so hard just to build up to this point of 2021. And I'll tell you the truth, like really mostly everything that I do right now is focused around 2024. I've said that many, many times. Everything that I'm doing right now, I'm really, like, for example, this, I make zero money here, right? But why am I doing this? Because I'm building up for 2024. I'm taking actions every day that might not necessarily pay me today, but I see the big picture. I know that the things that I'm doing are going to put me in such a great position later. And that, I mean, the time's going to go by whether you make the calls, whether you know, do the videos, whether you know, whatever it is that you do that you think may not be in your best interest short term. Those most of the time, those are the things that really are going to put you in a great position long term. You know, doing the things that nobody really wants to do. Guys, I put out a Instagram TV today about how boring, okay, extremely boring success really is, like the process. You know, as you're going through the motions, you know, to try to get to the next level, you get into this routine of things where you know what to do. Now you just have to do them every day for 5, 10, 20 years. And after 3 or 4 months, some people just tap out because they can't stomach how boring it really is to do this stuff. I mean, to make videos every single day, to post podcasts every day, to make calls every day, to show property every week, to go to get listings, to keep chasing and grinding and pushing it can really wear down on you. And there's not, I mean, that's why really there's only the top 1% that really succeed, because 99% of people just can't stomach how tough it really is, how, you know, worn out you become, how boring it really is. So I mean, I think that a lot of the stuff about me and why a lot of people follow me is because they like to see the grind. I'm not flashing stuff. I might take a picture of my car once a year or show you my pool, you know, once a year, but at the end of the day, I'm showing property still. I don't have a buyer's agent. I'm showing property still. I'm going to closings. I'm going to listing appointments. I'm making calls. I'm constantly posting on every platform constantly. That's not easy, right? That is not easy to do that at the volume that I do it for the amount of time that I've been doing it. It's not easy to continue doing this, right? But I'm going to continue doing it because that's the brand that I'm building for you guys, is that you're following one of the hardest working guys in the world, the way I see it. And you want to look and watch what I do and say, man, if this guy's still grinding, I'm going to keep grinding. You know what I mean? So that's just my quick little thoughts before we get into today's show. I did post a new video in the description. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm starting to go back and look, because I have almost 1,000 videos on my channel. I'm starting to go back and I'm starting to pull out little golden nuggets, old videos that people probably haven't seen or haven't seen in a while. So today's that I picked out was a past client script, a script for past clients, and really getting into the philosophy and the mindset behind calling your past clients. Maybe you haven't talked to them in a while. Maybe you're embarrassed that you haven't stayed in touch with your past clients. This is the video you want to watch. So it's in the description as well. So go there and smash the like button. Smash the like button for this video. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. And let me know if there's anything in the world I can do for you. I'm still answering every single DM. So let me introduce today's agents. I'm going to start with Grayson.
Thank you, Ricky. Hey, everybody. My name is Grayson Richie. I work with Keller Williams over in the Treasure Coast, as well as my team, the United Home Group. And I'm super happy to be here. I'm glad I get to pick one of my mentors' brains and, have some fun while doing it. You said it was very important that people realize that this can be boring, grinding towards success, but I also think it could be a lot of fun.
100%, bro. Like I have a blast every single day, but what I see a lot of, and when I say boring, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to basically call out the 99% of people, right? The 1%ers, the me and the yous, the 1%ers that loves doing the same thing every day and gets a kick out of it. And because we know where it's going to put us in 5 or 10 years. But who I'm really talking to is I'm trying to call out the 99% of people who quit after 3 months, after 6 months, after a year, after 2 years, because they don't think they're getting anywhere and they become bored with the process, right? I want to tell them up front, look, this is going to be a boring process, right? But you can't give up. You have to keep going. So totally, man, I don't want anybody to lose sight of the fact that, I'm having a blast, what I'm saying? Like I'm loving every second of it. But at the same time, you have to understand there's a lot of moments where it's literally just you and your computer for hours, right? You staring at a computer screen, you making calls by yourself in an office, by yourself at your house, making call after call after call, right? There's hours of just you and your work, and it can become monotonous. It can become there's a part of it that's like, man, but let's compare it to roofing houses. Let's just say, for example, okay, let's compare it to, serving tables that I used to do, cooking in a restaurant. I used to deliver pizzas. I was a concierge at a hotel. I was many, many things. Okay. And at the end of the day, I promise you on everything, when you look at a real estate agent's career, man, you have to recognize the fact that we have one of the greatest careers out there. Sure, there may be a few better ones. You may, this, that, you can have some things happening and going on. Sure. But for guys like me and you that probably, I don't know how you were brought up, but I was brought up roofing houses. I was brought up, kind of on the blue collar, lower middle class. We never had money. We never had anything. Everything for me, for my future, looked like I was going to have to really just work my entire life for nothing. Okay. And not have anything to show for it to the day. That's what my life was, but I had bigger dreams. Like I had more ambitions and I wanted to do something great. And when I entered into the real estate industry and realized how incredible of a vehicle it is to take people out of poverty, to take people out of the middle class, to take people to a place where they can actually realize their dreams. No, dude, trust me. I'm having a blast. So good,
Yeah, I
man.
mean,
Good to have you on the show. Looking forward to chatting with you in a minute.
yeah, man.
Liza.
I guess I have to unmute myself, right?
Yeah. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm Liza King, and I also am with Keller Williams Legacy in San Antonio, and I run the Liza King team. And we're small, but powerful. So trying to get more momentum. And in San Antonio, Texas, did I say that?
Nice. So Keller Williams over in San Antonio, just trying to make it happen. How long you been selling?
Going on 16 years, but I wasn't a part-time agent, but I wasn't taking it seriously at the beginning, to be quite honest. I would come in to the meetings and it's like, oh, this is fun, and go home, and I just expected people to knock on my door.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. So yeah, serious maybe in the past, it sounds funny, but probably since 2008. When everything tanked, that's when I started getting real serious, and it was probably one of my best years.
Yeah, nice. Love it. Well, good. Got some experience on the show today. Cool. Looking forward to chatting with you in a second. Tyler. Let's bring Tyler out.
What's up, man? It's been a while. I've been hounding you, trying to get on here and trying to get a book too, and it finally happened. So let's go. I'm Tyler Belin. I'm out of greater Seattle area, Keller Williams North Sound here, about 30 miles north of Seattle. I'm part of Lance Auto Associates. I got my license last year. Again, kind of like Liza, didn't really take it seriously. And I am a part-time agent, but I grind like a full-time agent. So, I mean, just in the last 6 weeks, I've closed 3 deals. So let's go.
Nice, man. Nice. Where's your Vikings jersey at?
Oh gosh, get out of here. Oh, I hate hearing that. Woo.
You are straight Green Bay'd out, bro.
Game day. Go Pack, go.
All right, dude. Aaron Rodgers' brother, everybody. All right, cool. All right, guys. Let's bring Grayson back out and let's chat it up, man.
Awesome. All right. So, I got quite a well, I don't want to say quite a few. I don't want to overwhelm you in 15
I heard
minutes.
the papers flipping, dude. You have like a book ready.
No, I wanted to make sure I could get as much out of this as I could. So, for everybody else as well. Given all the forbearances that are coming to a close here soon, well, what do you think the time frame is going to look like when we start to see more and more pre-foreclosures kind of wave in?
I've been wondering about that myself. I mean, I just can't help but to think that, with this, all the stimulus that's happening, and the fact that this all came from the virus, and how the government has really helped a lot of people out with different things. And they've done so many things. I just can't help but to think, right? This is just me thinking out loud. I just can't help but to think that they're going to step in again and kind of prolong the foreclosure process a little bit to help people get caught up on their mortgages and stuff. And for some reason, man, there's just some part of me that just doesn't believe that there's going to be a big wave of foreclosures, unless, I don't know who the president's going to be either, right? And so you don't know if there's going to be a huge policy change and some different stuff happen. Who knows, right? Who knows? So it's kind of hard to predict what's going to happen with the number of foreclosures that come up in the future. But I mean, at the end of the day, with foreclosures, as foreclosures are coming on the market, if there's a lot of foreclosures that start coming online and coming through and get auctioned off, hey, I'm going to be at the courthouse steps. You know what I mean? I'm going to have a big bag of money, and I'm going to be right at the courthouse steps. I'm going to be looking for those deals, and I'm going to be making some bids. So that's one thing. But as far as the prospecting side of it, I mean, the prospecting side of pre-foreclosures, to me, I mean, if they're heading into a pre-foreclosure situation and they are about to lose their house, I mean, really, at the end of the day, you're looking at either trying to help them figure out a way to work with the bank to keep their house, or you're looking to possibly try to sell their house depending on what they owe on the house, if they can even get out of it for what they owe, or if they're underwater on the house, they're looking at a short sale.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I did about 50 short sales back in 2000, between 2000, say 8 and 2011 or 12, I did about 50 short sales. So I understand that entire process, and it's a neat process. It's a long process. The buyer ends up with a really good deal, and they're easy to sell because they're priced right. They take a long time to close though. So for me, on the pre-foreclosures, my advice is, to get in there, talk to them, and try to create that relationship, because chances are a lot of other agents are going to be trying to go after those pre-foreclosures as well. So you're going to have some competition there. And so, we're trying to stand out by being that agent who's not just trying to, make money off of their bad situation, but turn it around into a situation where we can actually help them in some kind of way, either keep the house or sell it for what they owe, or short sell it, or whatever the case may be. We just need to get in there and find out what their situation is, what they want to do, and then you'll know how to help them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah.
as far as if I think a lot of them are coming up, who knows?
Fair enough. Yeah, and it's very important, especially in those kinds of cases, that you come from a place of value and compassion, because they already get 75,000 calls a day, so they know that they're behind.
Right.
So, all right, I could definitely agree with that. My next question was, because I've been doing video text messages to the people I have, to the prospects I've talked to, and even the ones that I've missed. If you were to do it, or if you are doing it, how specific or specialized do you make those video messages?
All the video message stuff kind of came out before, or after my time, after I already built my business and stuff. So I never really did. When I saw the video message, what are you using to do it?
It's either my phone, or I have a camera that I can roll and then upload it, edit, and then have it like a file that I can send out, like a generalized, hey, sorry, I missed you.
Yeah.
Similar to the script, but in a video message, so they can put a face to the name. And it's kind of that pattern interrupt.
Yeah.
So that it's not just spam to them. It's, oh, okay, this guy's actually looking to speak with us.
Right. So you're sending this to people who, somebody that you had a good call with, you sent them a video on the backside, or something like an internet lead?
So if I had a good call with them, it's just, hey, thank you for the time. It was a pleasure speaking with you. Something on those ends. But like if I get a voicemail or it doesn't go through, or they end up having to go, it's just, hey,
Right.
Sorry, I missed you. Just kind of like in a prospecting way to do a pattern interrupt compared to the rest of my competition in my marketplace.
I like it, man. If you have a video that is pre-recorded, use the same video for everybody, right? That's a really good video, and you can it's real easy to just go boop, boop, boop and send it. I think it's great.
Awesome.
It might give you a shot to do something. As far as what to say, I think you probably need to test some different things. You know what I mean? Like, what works for me might not work for you. That's like the script.
Right.
Every little word of it doesn't necessarily work for everybody. You got to kind of tweak things. And for your specific, area, how people, the lingo, and how people talk, and the tone and the speed of the voice and stuff like that. So I think you just need to try maybe a couple different, make like 3 or 4 that are completely different, and try all 4 of them, see which one gets the best response. You know what I mean? Try one where it's just like, hey, call me back, da, da, da. And then have one where it's like, hey, I tried to call you, whatever, I'm calling about, this or that, give me a call. You know what I mean? Like, do general ones, do specific ones, do, kind of mix it up and see which one gets you the best results.
Awesome. Now I know that you started doing the 4 points per day.
Yeah.
Now, like as a newer agent in one of the most competitive marketplaces in the country, South Florida, do you think it's a good idea that I've decided to kind of like double that, double the 8 point versus just doing a simple 4 point?
Well, see, the thing is that, the 4 points is designed for you to complete the 4 points. And then from that point forward, it's not like you stop at the 4 points. It's like now you feel good about what you got done with today, and everything else is extra credit. That's the whole thing about the 4 points. Is like it's designed to where if you hit 4 points every day, you're going to have an incredible year. Okay, if you're talking to either 8 people about real estate that you've never talked to before, if you're meeting someone in person, getting a listing signed, or getting a contract ratified, that if you're doing those things to get 4 points, then you're going to have an incredible year if that's all you do every single day. So
Right.
Let's not complicate it. Let's not say, oh, well, let's get 10 points or 8 points, 16 points. Let's not expand it, right? Let's stick to the 4. But let's say, okay, if you want to double it, do it like this. Okay, let's say, okay, I want to hit 4 points by lunch. Okay, and then everything you do from that point forward is like, great, let's continue to be productive, but we already got our 4 points. So now we're just working on extra credit. We're working when we really don't have to. We've already hit our goals, and now we're exceeding our goals. Instead of making it 8 points, where hey, let's face it, maybe you won't hit 8 points, and now you're making it this goal that you might not hit. And if you do hit it, you'll probably just hit it. You know what I mean? Where if it's 4 points, now we're in a mindset where we're hitting our goals and we're exceeding our goals.
Right. So instead of like being a minimum to reach, it becomes a wall that gets in your way. I can get that.
Yeah, exactly. So instead, make the goal that we want to hit our 4 points before lunch every day. Like hit your 4 points before lunch every day.
Right.
Okay. And then, and then exceed. If you want to try to hit another 4 points, great, but break it up 4 and 4, not 8. Yeah.
Understood. Now, with our market, with real estate, the way people advertise is always unique to them, but it's generally done in a big wave on either certain platforms or utilizing certain methods. Do you have any kind of thoughts on what the next one may be?
What the next what? Social
like the main marketing platform, main advertising platform, because I've heard a lot of people say that it's definitely a relationship decade, especially given everything that's going on. It's a major relationship decade. Given that in mind, and now that, knock on wood, that COVID is going to start slowing down, we can start, being in person and closer in contact. Do you think that's going to affect the way we advertise?
Well, yeah, I think, you got to go more towards value-based advertising, right? And, here's what I see. I see a huge shift in the market right now, because when digital came into the marketplace, there was a huge shift away from, oh, I know an agent, to just picking an agent online. When Zillow came out, you look at houses, boom, you call the agent that's right there. I think that we've went through a huge cycle of that, and you have a lot of people who didn't like the experience they had with that random agent that they didn't know. And now we're having a shift back from that to an agent that they know, they like, they trust, or a referral from someone that is a friend. The most common answer now is, where did you get your agent? Where did you find your agent? How did you pick your agent? And it's, I had a friend in the business. That's what I'm hearing more and more and more of as we move forward. And so I think we're shifting away from picking your agent online to picking an agent you have a relationship with. Okay, so I think that you're right. That's going to be, this decade is going to be the decade of building relationships and personal brand with your clients. With that being said, I still believe that the voice to voice and the weekly email should be the foundation of it all. Should be the foundation of it all. And then stack everything else on top of that. If you want to do these social media platforms and this and that, it should be stacked on top of, what you're doing with your weekly email and your voice to voice, your follow up, your cold calling, your sphere of influence, all that good stuff, your past clients and all that. So I think that's going to stay in play, right? Even as we move forward. And, we're not there yet, but we're leaning into a text messaging world where text is going to turn into the new email. Okay. We're not there yet in real estate, because what I see, like I have it on my as part of my program that you can sign up for Trumpia and do bulk text messages to your database. But a lot of people aren't really necessarily doing it because they feel like it's just still too much of an intimate place where you don't want to bring business into the text messaging world. But you can have that stance all you want to. We're moving in that direction more and more and more every day. So I think as time goes on, when you say what's the next platform, I think text messaging is going to be huge. And I think that I think email is going to stay in play. I think that should always be the foundation of what you do. And I think text messaging may be what you need to add on top of it, because those are such huge organic reaches. I mean, such huge organic reaches. It's ridiculous.
Right.
Social media is so little organic reach. Email and text is such a high organic reach. So the high organic reach platform should be your foundation, and then add everything else if you want to do your social medias and your different platforms there on top of it. I mean, that's the way I see it going into at least the first part of the decade. We'll see what happens over the next 5 to 10 years. Who knows?
Fair enough. Well, I don't know how much more time I got before I hand it off to one of the others.
Pick out your net. You're out of all the questions you got left. Pick out your favorite one or the one you're most interested in.
Okay. Most of the time, a lot of the 99% agents quit during the holiday season, and you and I both know that that's not supposed to be the case. That's the worst time to quit. Given that in mind, do you already have a holiday marketing or like a plan in place for the holidays? And if you do, is there a small glimpse you can give us now, or will that come with the webinar?
No, absolutely, man. So the webinar is going to be more so like, 2021, day one, 2021, to really just start out the year with a bang. Okay. And kind of putting our plan in place and executing. So as we move into the winter months, where things start slowing down maybe a little bit. I mean, I stay busy year round, but the reason I stay busy year round is because of what I'm fixing to tell you. Champions are made in the off season, right? People that work hard in the off season are the ones who come back victorious the next season. Okay, so let's just say, for example, the busy season is summer. That's the selling season. That's the busy season. Let's just say spring to summer is the busy, fall and winter is not. Let's just say hypothetically, that's how everybody's market is, which it's not. It's different for every area. But if that's the case, when you're busy in the spring and the summer, you're really too busy to really grow your business or build your database. I mean, if you're a really busy agent, you don't really have time for all the cold calls and all the things you need to do to really build. You're just building off past clients' referrals. You're entering those referrals into your database. You're getting buyer leads. You're doing all these things. Well, when it slows down a little bit, every year I've incrementally increased my income. I've stair-stepped my income every year. Because in the off season, I would use that time. I'm really focused on building my database bigger. I want to come into the next season with a larger database every year. So in the winter, I'll grow my database, and then I'm ready for a bigger selling season. I go through the selling season. I have a better year than I had the year before. Then the winter time hits again, and I use that time to build my database up again. Now I have a bigger database this next year, and I go into the selling season and have a better year than I had the year before. Then the next year, do the same thing. I build it up more. And every year it's a stair step of database growth, because I'm growing it in the wintertime. That's when I can really focus on it. So as soon as I realize, and it's the same thing when the market crashes, you have to realize that there's a shift in the market. When you realize there's a shift, you recognize it based on the activity in the market, and you say, okay, I need to rearrange what my routine is and move more into to me, there's two gears for a real estate agent. There's either prospecting and growing your database, or there's selling. There's the selling part of the market during a period of time, and then there's the growing your database period of time. So if the market, like when the pandemic happened, the market obviously had a huge shift at that moment. Everyone should have jumped right on the phone, called all their past clients immediately, checked on them. How are you doing? How's it going? Still getting the weekly email, anything it could do for you. How's your daughter? How's your dogs? How's the house? Great. I love you. Talk to you soon. right? As soon as you get through all those, then we're going to move right over to new prospects to try to add more, create more to grow that database. That's the strategy, man, from off season to selling season every year. And if you do it right and you stay busy, you're not like the 99% of agents who take off in the winter, then you should incrementally be able to stair step and grow that database larger and larger and larger every year until you get to the level of income that you want.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, man. And if there was questions I didn't answer, bro, we'll just get together afterwards.
Yeah, you know I'll text you either way.
All right, brother. Appreciate it, man. Liza.
Yes, sir.
Do people call you Liza Wizza?
No, actually, they call me Liza. They call me Liza with a Z because many moons ago, I used to be on the radio and that was my air name, Liza with a Z.
Liza King.
Reality.
Like it's Liza King. That's a good, I bet you that's a good real estate name.
You think so?
I absolutely think so.
Well, it's easy to remember.
That's what I'm saying. It's catchy. Liza King. I mean, it's definitely use that as some marketing. So what questions do you have, or what can I help you with?
Well, I'm using Redx, of course, to prospect and circle prospect. There's this one neighborhood that I've been trying to get into, and I started farming as far as postcards. Oddly enough, it started right around the pandemic time, and I do have a lot of their emails, and so I was emailing them my weekly email. My question is, if I don't have listings in there yet, but they do know the face now because they've been getting not emails, but they've been getting postcards for the past 5 months. When I call, what's my spiel to them? Like, hey, you know me, my face or my name, or should I just pick something that has sold, even if it's not mine, and go from there? How do I approach it?
Okay, so you're talking about circle prospecting in a neighborhood where you haven't sold anything. Is that your question?
Yes, sir.
100%. This is a great question. I'm glad you brought this up. Yeah, like you're informed. Listen, when you're calling people, right, especially circle prospecting, you are calling to do two things: inform and help. You're informing and offering help. That's it. And so when you call them, you're literally saying, hey, Miss King, it's Ricky Carruth, eXp Realty, Gulf Shores. How you doing today? Cool, I'm enjoying the day. Isn't it gorgeous? Great. Look, I don't want to take up too much of her time. Now I'm going to inform her. A house around the corner just sold. I didn't know if there's anything in the world I could do for you. So when I'm telling her that a house around the corner just sold, it could be a for sale by owner. It could be a house that another agent sold. It could be a house I sold. It could be anything, right? Or a house was just listed right down the road from you, or a house just went under contract right down the street, across the road from you, or a condo just went under contract in your building, or I just closed on a house, or I just put something under contract in your subdivision. Didn't know if there's anything in the world I could do for you. It doesn't. You're informing them of anything that has happened in the market. You're not really worried about who sold it, why they sold it, how they sold it. You just want to inform them that something did happen and offer help. So we're literally just giving them information, educating them on something that they may or may not know about. Right. It's just like, hey, I didn't know if you knew this or not, but a house just sold right down the road from you, for a really good price. Didn't know if there's anything in the world I could do for you today. Right. See what I mean?
Yeah, the reason I asked about that is because in the neighborhoods that I call that I have sold something, there's been a couple of people that go, well, did you sell it? And I say, well, yes, that was my listing. And, so I'm just trying to anticipate, what if that question comes up?
Listen, when somebody comes at you like that, you need to give it right back at them, because here's the thing. We are honest, hardworking, dependable people. And for them to come at us with an attitude is very insulting.
Right.
No, I didn't sell it. I'm informing you. I'm letting you know that it sold though. Right. I'm just letting you know that a house sold, and I'm calling you to see if there's something I can do for you. Be straight up with them. Yeah. Tell them, no, I didn't sell it.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with it. An agent down the road sold it, right? And say the next question is, and what does it matter who sold it? I'm calling you to let it know it's sold, and then ask and then see if there's anything I can do to help you. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love that.
So the next question, when you tell them that somebody else sold it, the next question you ask them is, and then pause and let them be the awkward person who came at you sideways, because that's ridiculous, right? So that's one thing. Just when people, you see how I answer that question?
Yeah.
Tell them the truth. Be honest with them. Like that's not hard, right? You just, when they ask you a question, you tell them the answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like if nothing has sold in their area, like if nothing has sold in their subdivision, then it's like, hey, I'm just calling. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I want to let you know that it's been 3 years since anything sold in your neighborhood. I was just calling to see if there's anything in the world I can do for you. It's like you're just informing them of whatever's going on. It doesn't matter what it is that's going on. You just let them know what it is going on, and you're just using that as a conversation point to find out if there is a way that we can help them.
Okay, that's.
And at the end of the day, it's going to come down to not what you say, but how you say it. And so at that point, it's going to be all about your tone.
Okay, I like that. I like that. And I don't know if you've talked about this before or you haven't. I know that right now client events are kind of taboo because of the pandemic. I sent out an email yesterday actually because I'm going to have a curbside Thanksgiving pie pickup, and I've gotten a couple of responses. But do you do client events to thank them? Yes, no, and either one, why not?
I don't do client events to thank them, right? What I do to thank them is by taking extremely good care of them through the transaction and really going above and beyond to make sure that they have a very smooth transaction, whereas they really had an enjoyable experience. You know what I mean? That is the best way to thank your clients in the world, is to make a smooth transaction that was a very, very pleasurable, great experience for them, where there was no real hookups. I mean, there's things that happen in some of my transactions that sometimes, frankly, my clients never hear about it because I take the heat of it. I take care of the situation. I don't even tell them about it, because I don't want them worried. I don't want them. That's my job. That's my job to take that off of them. Our job, part of our job as agents, is to make the transaction smooth for our clients. And when you can do that, they love you forever. I mean, you don't have to do client appreciation parties. You don't have to tell them happy birthday. You don't have to send them a postcard on the anniversary of when they bought the. You don't have to do that kind of stuff, right? They know that you care because of the way that you cared through the transaction, and they're never going to use another real estate agent or refer another real estate agent because they had such an incredible experience that it's hard to, when you find something good, it's hard, you don't want to try something else out, it might not be as good. So people are normally going to stick with you through that kind of stuff. So not saying don't have client appreciation parties either, right? If that's something you want to do, by all means, go for it. Anytime you can be in front of clients and you can, really interact with them, especially face to face, throw a big party, spend a bunch of money, give them dinner, give them gifts, have giveaways, have a band, whatever you want to do, and have a good time. Hey, that has to be 100% productive. You know what I mean? So I could go either way on it. For me, not a big thing for me. Other agents do really well, so I guess it just comes down to you.
Right. So the only thing that you do to really stay in front of them is your email, your weekly email. Is that correct?
Yeah. And the reason is because of a very simple answer, and that is scalability, simplicity, right? Why, if we can stay in front of someone, if we can stay in front of a large audience and it's scalable, and it only takes 30 minutes a week to build it and send it out, And all I have to do is that one thing, and it keeps me busy. It keeps me right at that 100 deals a year, right? It keeps me right where my cup is full, where I don't really want to handle any more than two a week. Two closings a week since 2014. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
You know, could I go to 4? Yeah, if I wasn't doing YouTube and coaching and doing all the other things that I'm doing, but I love doing what I'm doing. Because when agents DM me telling me that they tripled their income since last year, or they picked up 3 listings last week using my script, or, you know, things of that nature, I'll tell you, I'll be straight up. I'm just completely 100% addicted to helping agents and getting that feedback that what I'm telling them is working for them. I just love it. It's just turned into a real passion of mine. So yeah, I mean, the weekly email is everything. And the reason being is, yeah, I could do social media. I could do direct mail. I could do postcards. I could do Christmas cards. I don't even do Christmas cards. I do my weekly email Christmas week. I do Christmas stuff. I'm like, Merry Christmas. That's my Christmas card, right? So, you know, if the simpler you can keep your business, the more simple and the more scalable. And if you find a vehicle that you can really scale, and it makes your life easy because you're not doing 15 things.
Yeah.
You know, take a look at my business. It's on autopilot. Why? Because I have a scalable, simple process.
Right. I worry about, and I started sending an email, I guess, I don't know, right around the pandemic or right before, the weekly email. And I'm looking at my numbers, like to open rates and stuff. Do you worry about some of them that never open? I mean, I don't know. I guess I worry too much about people that are opening or not opening. And yesterday or day before yesterday, my heart just sank because I had a client unsubscribe, and it just crushed me because we've been friends on Facebook and everything. And I'm like, why? I haven't talked to them, but I don't know if I should call them and go, why? Or what do you do when they do that?
I don't do anything because I don't look at the unsubscribes, right? So yeah, 100%. I don't care if people unsubscribe. People, you know, listen, you know, I have 50 something thousand subscribers on this YouTube channel, right? And I have probably, I'm just guessing because I haven't looked, right? But I'm guessing I probably have like 5,000 or 6,000 who have subscribed and then unsubscribed, right? Listen, it's all the same stuff. When you're, you know, people follow people on Instagram and then they do what? Unfollow, right? You people are going to unsubscribe from your email, from Facebook. They're going to quit following you. They're going to unsubscribe from YouTube and quit following you on Instagram. And you know, you're going to have clients that you do a deal with, and you think you had the most amazing experience ever. That go in the next 2 years, you stayed in touch with them, but they use somebody else to list their property, right? That is going to happen. That's going to happen a lot. That's just the way of the world. That's the way of business, right? If you want to be successful, you know, let's just say one metric of success is how many people unsubscribe from your weekly email. That'll tell you how big you're succeeding, because if that number's big, that means the number of people that are actually watching your email is enormous, right? So I've lost maybe 5 or 6 or whatever thousand subscribers on YouTube, but I've got 50,000 that are still following, and it's growing about 100 every day. So listen, when people unsubscribe, you know, that's good because we're filtering down our audience to the people who really like our content, you know, and that's what you want. Over the years, when you're building your database, you want to filter down to the people who want your content and want to do business with you, you know? So that's just it. And really, when you're out there talking to people, there's probably a good, you know, 70% of people who either don't like you or have another agent. But there's a good 20-30% who love you and want to do business with you when they decide to do something. The question is are you willing to go through the 70% of people who don't want to do a deal with you to get to the 20%? Can you stomach the rejection of the 70% to get to the 20 to 30% who will be loyal for life?
Sometimes it's hard, and I have to tell you, I mean, because I listened to you making calls, and like the agents that have made calls, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, that he was just adamant, and he was like, oh, okay, it's a wrong number. Well, hey, I'm a real estate agent here in San Antonio, and he just kept at it. And then the guy just hangs up on him. It's like,
Yeah.
I guess I'm overly sensitive sometimes, and I'm like, why did they hang up on me? I'm wonderful. You know?
Well, here's the thing. It's going to come down to you, right? I can't do it for you, but you're going to have to come to a point where you say, okay, I either want this or I don't want this. I know you've been doing this a long time, but it still comes down to the fact of, yeah, you're going to have to get through. Like I said, there's 70% of people who are going to hang up on you. They're not hanging up on you, but the rejection to get to the 20% of people who love you.
Right.
If you can't stomach the 70%, you're not going to get to the 20%. And the more of the 70% you get, the bigger the 20% you have. And so you have to make a decision at some point. Do I want to continue to be average? Right? Because if you don't, then you have to completely forget about all your feelings about being uncomfortable or hurting or people unsubscribing or not liking you or hanging up on you. You have to forget all those emotions and become completely numb to all that and say, I don't care about that. All I'm going to focus on is the 20%, and I want to grow that list. If I run into somebody who hangs up on me or unsubscribe, okay. Again, let's use the same question from earlier. And who cares? They open up the door. Those people that unsubscribe and hang up on us open up the door for us to work with more than 20%.
That's true. And I have to tell you, I've gotten a lot better, thicker and thicker skin over the years, because I remember the first time, I think it was my first or second year, I was door knocking, and I went, and this man, it was a for sale by owner. And he took the time to write me the most scathing letter to my office. I came to my broker and I was in tears. And now, sometimes when they hang up, I'll just, if I say who I am and they hang up right away, I'll just call back sometimes. And I think I did text you one time and I asked you if they hang up the second time, don't call them back. But if they hang up, sometimes I'll call back and I'll say like, hey, I think we were disconnected. And sometimes they're embarrassed and they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm at work. Can you call me back? Or, but yeah, you're right. We have to get through those duds to get to the shining diamonds.
Duds to the studs. Absolutely. 100%.
Well, cool. I know that, you're so busy, with your clients and stuff, but what about, because I know your time is valuable, like everyone's time, and because it's just you. So how do you handle showings or multiple showings during the week if you have those? Because I know that you do a lot of listings, but how do you handle the showings? And if you can't, do you tell them I can't? And what if they get mad? How does that work into your schedule?
Have you ever had this problem?
I have.
And what happened?
Well, one of them dumped me.
Okay.
And there's nothing I could do for them.
What were they? People just off the street just hit you up on, Zillow or something?
They were actually a referral from out of town, and they were going.
Okay, what about, during that time, you say you have multiple showings. So one of them was a referral. Where did the other one come from?
The other one was a past client.
Okay, so you had two very important clients. If you have a past client and you have a referral, those are two of the most golden clients that you can possibly have, because the person that sent you the referral, you want them to continue sending them referrals to you. Exactly. So what do you do to continue to get them to send you referrals is by taking extremely good care of the referrals that they do send you. Okay. And on the flip side, you have this past client here who has already done business with you, who is going to send you referrals and do more deals with you. So you have multiple deals situation with both of these clients. And so you have to get both of these clients done. So what you did is you approached it completely wrong, right? You made it seem like you're too busy for them or something like that. What you should have done is you should have just rearranged everything. Hey, I have a meeting at that time. Can we do it 2 hours later? It only takes 2 hours to show property, right? Okay. So can we do it 2 hours later? If not, what's another good time that would be good for you, and try to rearrange it. And look, here's the flippy dippy. If they can't, if that's the only 2 hours they can see property, then what do? Say, okay, cool, I'll see you there. And then you go to the other people. One or the other is gonna work with you, right? You don't lose them. You know what I'm saying? You don't say anything crazy that makes them run away. You know, you wanna be very delicate with those situations. You know, but you know, I can't really remember a time, as busy as I am. I don't really remember a time where I actually had two buyers that wanted to see stuff at exactly the same time. I mean, I'm pretty sure I have, but I moved one of them over 2 hours, you know, or something like that. And people understand when you show them that you care and they feel like you really care about them, they're going to work with you. They want to work with you. They'll go over their, you know, they'll go over the top to try to make it work for you. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't really have that issue though. I'm showing property tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. I've got a listing appointment Monday. You know, so I go to these things and I do my thing and show the properties and try to help the people do what they need to do. And, you know, if I get double booked, I try to work around it. You know, I don't really sit around and worry about, listen, this is a good problem to have. You want to be overbooked, right? You want, you know, do your best to get overbooked, right? That would be a great problem to have.
Yeah, it would. Speaking of your listing, I think that's one of the other questions that I have is, what does your listing presentation look like? And do you do pre-listing folders and send it to them before, or do you just show up and do a presentation there?
Love it. Love it. Love this question. So I'm going to answer this and then I'm going to go to Tyler.
Sure.
Okay. So there's two things. One, I absolutely do not do a pre-listing package, right? And the reason is because why? It takes time that I could spend trying to help more people, right? And when I show up to the listing and to the listing appointment, and the seller, you know, is choosing between me and an agent that sent them a pre-listing package, I literally almost chuckle and I'm like, are you serious right now? Because if you want Mr. Pre-listing package guy who's going to go back to the office and work on more pre-listing packages to send out to more people, right? And that's what he does. He's a pre-listing package guy. Okay, then be my guest. But if you want Mr. Phone Call guy who's going to go back to the office and not make pre-listing packages to try to find more listings, but to make phone calls to try to actually find a buyer for your property, then I'm your guy. So I'm going to spend my time making phone calls, not making pre-listing packages, right? And so that brings me to another point about just the actual listing presentation. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm actually going to create my little listing presentation, right? All the details. I'm going to make a little ebook about it. All the little details and every little thing that I do, I'm going to go really deep with listing presentation philosophy, script, what I'm trying to do, objectives, everything I take with me, the whole 9 yards. I'm going to package it into an ebook for everybody. And that's going to come out next month. So just be on the lookout for that.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Cool. You're welcome. Tyler, man, this is the moment we've all been waiting on, bro.
What's up, dude? How are you?
Good.
Good. Hey, yeah. So as I continue to just build my young business here, you know, really only nailing it for the last, started listening to you in May and started selling realistically in June. You know, my big thing as a team that we've been doing, and whether it's a property that we've sold or not, is just obviously circle prospecting that on a dialer. So I guess my first question to you, so when you're calling in and stuff, you know, normally was using your script for a while, kind of manipulated a little bit, made it my own, so it sounded a little bit more natural. But is there a different way you'd call people going, for example, calling, hey, this is Tyler with Keller Williams. How you doing today? Oh, we're not interested in selling right now. Okay, that's great. I'm not calling that. I'm just calling to say, hey, what can I do to help you today? Like, oh, well, nothing. We're going to die in this house. It's just like, okay. My mind goes to, okay, well, when do you plan on dying? Because I'd love to help you then. I don't know. But
dude, see, that's exactly what you need to say right there, right?
Yeah.
Because you need to have fun with those calls. Because let's face it, man, that's not every call. You know, when people say I'm going to die in my house and stuff like that. So you do get that every once in a while, and you know, turn it into a joke, like you just said. That was perfect, actually, perfect little comeback. But you know, when they say let's see, what was it? Let's see, what did you say there? Oh, they say I'm not going to list my house or whatever. Say good. I'm not calling to list your house.
Yep, exactly.
Right. Say good. That's great. That's actually not what I was calling about. I was actually calling to let you know that a house around the corner just sold, and see if there's anything I could do to help you in terms of buying or selling. Because at that point they're looking at okay, because when you say, oh, just calling to see what I can do to help you, they're kind of thinking, what the heck is this dude talking about? You know, he just said he didn't want to list my house. So just kind of throw that in there at the end. You know, yeah, you just, you know, call to see, you know, that's good. That's great, because that's actually not what I'm calling about. I was actually calling just to let you know that a house around the corner did just sell. Okay. Yeah. Whether you want to sell or not, I wanted you to be aware, right, in case you didn't know, and then just kind of see if there's anything I could do for you in terms of buying or selling, or if you want me to email you that information on the one that sold, or anything I can do for you. I'm just here to help, right? Yeah. And so kind of go there with it, you know, and like you did just there, that was a perfect comeback. Just kind of have some fun with it. Listen, you got to have fun on the phone, man. Oh, you have to just relax and enjoy it. You know, every call is going to go different, and you just got to kind of enjoy the ride, and just know that all the rejection that you're getting and all this and all that, and trying to figure out how to get people to do this and get people to do that. Look, man, the more you're on the phone, the better you're going to get. The more calls you make over the years, if you're doing them, you know, if you're doing 3 hours, 3 days a week, if you do that for years and years and years, you're going to be a top agent. And the skill level that you build making all these calls is going to bleed over into all these other categories, man. It's going to bleed over into your negotiation skills. It's going to bleed over into how you talk to agents in the area. It's going to bleed into talking to referrals, people that you know, that they were sent to you by somebody and they already feel like you might be their guy. You're going to communicate that better, because a lot of people, some people, you know, that, let's just say people that don't make phone calls, they're not great on the phone. They're not good at communicating who they are because they haven't been doing this. They'll get a referral from someone, and the person will tell the referral how great the agent is. The referral will call the agent and everything, but then they kind of get a weird vibe, and then they don't even use that agent, right? So like, you making all these calls and getting better and better at your communication is going to bleed over into all these other categories. That's going to make you super successful. You know what I mean? So yeah, sure. just have complete fun with it.
Yeah. And I guess to continue to kind of feed off that as well, what's your kind of style in order to get emails and get people on that weekly email? Because I seem to get pretty often, like, people are, you know, there's no relationship there yet. So they're like, yeah, you can stay in touch with me. I'm like, okay, is quarterly or fine? Yeah, great. Awesome. Let's do that. So if you send them that weekly email, which I haven't done yet, by the way, I do need to start figuring out how to do that. But how do you get to that point where you're like, hey, I'm going to be emailing you every week to stay in front of you and keep you up on the market, when they're kind of like, you don't
say that, bro. Okay. You never say that. You never say that. Listen, this is a mistake a lot of agents make. When they're asking for the email, they'll say, I send out this market report, right? Yeah. Nobody wants a market report. Right. Or they ask for the email, like, hey, what's your email? I want to stay in touch with you. No, you ask for if it's okay to stay in touch, and then ask for the email. Right. You know, agents, you know, they want to explain it all and all this. Listen, man, what you have to do with this email thing, number one, you're insecure about asking for the email because you're scared that you're going to ask for the email. They're going to give it to you, and then you're going to send them weekly information that they're going to be upset with you about. Okay. Mm-hmm. Completely not the case. So what you need to do is, number one, not be insecure about asking for the email. Know that you're providing value and that you're here to help them, right? And so from there, you need, in the back of your mind, you need to have it in place. The mentality behind asking for the email is literally to stay in touch with them. You know, it's like, hey, you know, I'm sure at some point down the road you're going to do something, right? Well, yeah, we might, yeah, whatever, yeah. Cool. Well, look, I'd love the opportunity to work with you when that day comes. Would it be all right if I just stayed in touch? You know, it's like, just stayed in touch. It's like nothing too big, just a little stay in touch.
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. Cool. What's a good email for you? See how I said it, where it's just like nonchalant. It's just kind of like part of the gig. It's part of the conversation. It's like, okay, cool. What's a good email for you? All right, and this is your cell number, da da da. And if you turn it into I'm staying in touch with you. Okay, I'm staying in touch with you. All right, rather than I'm going to send a market report, I'm going to email you every week. I'm going to blow your ass up with a bunch of stuff that you don't care about. I'm going to tell you how to cook shrimp etouffee and give you the top 10 best buying tips for the winter and how to paint, what color to paint your walls in the fall. I'm going to tell you national numbers that you care nothing about, all the stuff that all the other agents send. No, when you do get the email and you start sending the email the way I teach you to send the email about local stats, your 2 cents, your opinion, what you think about stuff, let them get to know you through the email and how you think and how you operate and how hard of a worker you are. They're going to love the email at that point. And here's the flip side. Some of them are going to unsubscribe. And that is a great sign. That means that you're working, that means that you're working.
Well, it makes it easier for your database because you're just moving out the people that really don't really want to stay in contact with you, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. So another question that kind of comes up as well. We're in a weird thing that's going on here in Seattle with, just political stuff going on. People are basically picking up and they're moving north and stuff, which has helped our business significantly because where I live is a commuter town. It's significantly cheaper and people can put up, $600,000 houses and just live there and work from home and stuff. So I guess my question to this, and it kind of goes back to what Grayson was saying a little bit as far as, foreclosures, investing, stuff like that. I've never seen it because I'm such a new agent, but what does it look like when the market changes like that? And what would make you go, hey, now's the time to start investing in property or land in order to, have residual income in the future?
Man, look, as far as like property investment, you can do it anytime, right?
Okay.
So when you're investing for, like you say, residual income, you're basing your purchases on the cash flow of that property, right? So
Okay.
you look at the cash flow of that property, whatever the given price is at the moment, and you back in your the revenue of that property, all the expenses, and you look at the bottom line, right? You look at the top line, you look at the expenses, you look at the bottom line, you look at the total investment. If you're going to borrow money, you got down payment, you got all that stuff, and then you got your mortgage you got to throw in there, all that stuff. You figure out what your top and bottom line is based on the money you put in, and you decide if that's the kind of return you want. Right? It doesn't matter when or what happens. Now, when there is a huge economic shift to the downside and prices do come down, right, which will happen at some point in our lifetime, then you'll know when that's happening because you'll see prices, getting crushed, and then you can dive in. So you always want to have a nice little piggy bank, right? Set aside for that day when it comes, start building up some cash. You always want to have cash. To me, diversity is, having all kinds of great investments. Like I have a huge stock portfolio, huge real estate portfolio, and tons of cash, right? I think it's good to have all, three, including a lot of liquid cash where you can always be in position to take advantage of something if it comes along. You don't want to be fully invested, and have zero cash available. You want to, this is my opinion. Other people may have different opinions, but I like to have cash. I like to have cash as well as investments. So, as you move along, you get into your investment journey, you'll pick up some things here and there. You'll learn a lot along the way. You'll start to buy some stocks. You'll start to buy real estate. And you'll have income coming in, you'll have other businesses, you'll have residual income, and it'll all come together. You know what I mean? You just kind of keep plugging away, keep trying to learn, and you'll get there.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So another question I had, beyond circle prospecting and stuff, especially in my neighborhood and stuff, it's been pretty cool just talking to the neighbors and stuff. They're like, wait, who's that? And they go, oh, that's Ty, the real estate guy. And I'm like, hey, that's kind of catchy. That's great. So I'm building rapport there. as far as that, as far as door knocking and stuff, I was just hoping to maybe get a little bit of insight on how to, be most effective with my time and useful. So when we are having those conversations, we're having high level conversations instead of just, hey, I'm here, I'm another sales guy.
Have you seen, let me pull it up. Have you seen the Ben Steven door knocking script?
Nope.
Oh man. I'm gonna grab this for you.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab this. Let's see. Okay, guys, I'm gonna put this in the description.
Cool.
All right, let's see. Ben Stevens door knocking script. Boom. I just put that in the description, and I'll put it in the comments as well. But I'm also going to email it to you, Tyler.
All right.
Copy right here. Bam. This is so gold. If anybody on YouTube searches best door knocking script for real estate agents ever. All right. And then let me send this to you. I'm going to email this to you. You need to watch this video. It's only like a 5-minute video or something. It's real, but dude, this is so golden as far as like the script for door knocking, your mannerisms, your tone, your body language, because all that comes into play when you're door knocking. You can hide a little bit of it on the phone, but when you're door knocking, it's a full package. It's body language, it's mannerisms, it's everything, facial expressions, it's the whole 9 yards. And so this guy is an absolute monster when it comes to that. So watch that video, man, and then get back to me if that doesn't clarify everything.
Yeah, sure. And I guess that leads into another one that's a little bit more difficult that ties right to that. How do you do that when you have to have these guys on your face?
Well, for me, like I'm just going to sit in front of my desk and make calls all day.
Okay.
And I'm not going to door knock right now with COVID and stuff. I mean, it's just not even, number one, it's not even safe for you. I mean, and number two, it's not safe for them. I mean, we just had, I don't know if I believe the numbers and everything, but if the numbers are true, we just had 100,000 cases yesterday or something like that. The largest day that we've had so far. So, I mean, there's really no need in really doing it, to be honest with you, man. I would just make calls, which is much more efficient anyway. You can call so many more people than you can door knock. You can call so many more people than you can door knock, because you actually have to walk from house to house to house, or you could just sit at an office and just have a dialer just go right through the phone numbers.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Seriously, that's all I'm really at right there. That's all the questions I had, and I really appreciate you bringing me on.
100%, man. 100%. Let's bring everybody back on. You guys can unmute. So, guys, I put Grayson, Liza, right? Did I get it right finally? Okay, Liza, God. Liza, Grayson, Liza, and Tyler's contact information in the description if you guys want to connect with them on Instagram or whatever they wanted me to put down there for you. Anything else I can do for you guys today?
No, it's been a spectacular little get together, and I'm looking forward to more texting and harassing you with more questions.
Even awesome. I'm looking forward to the listing ebook that you're going to post.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Super looking forward to that.
Yeah. I'm getting that all put together, and it'll be out before the end of the month, and I'll send it out to everybody, and you guys can enjoy that and kind of put together a game plan with it moving into the new year. A different way to do your listing, or have a better plan when you show up to the listing appointments.
That's right.
Sounds great.
Cool, guys. Cool. Well, good. Great to have you guys on. Had a blast. Enjoyed all the questions, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay, guys.